this week's electrifying, spear-sharpening, eye-gouging episode of Ushio and Tora, the final battle with the Hakumen no Mono is officially underway. In this week's final episode, Ushio and Tora decides to take paranormal activity and officially make it its bitch, as every ghost and spirit returns in the final battle against the nine-tailed demon. Before I go any further in the review, let me just give a big spoiler warning. If you have not watched the final episode of the series, please go do so now before you watch this review, because there's a lot of big events which go down in this episode, a lot of big character deaths, and a lot of finality. First, let's talk about the battle with Hakumen no Mono. Without a doubt, this is the best animated episode of the entire series. Ushio and Tora fighting against Hakumen no Mono is just as it is in the intros of the show, which is to say, it looks frickin' metal as all hell. Lots of movement, lots of fluidity, and lots of great fighting choreography, and lots of real shocking moments as well, as the Hakumen no Mono is basically just being turned into a little bitch in this episode, to the point where it can't even control its own anger anymore and decides to gouge its own eyeballs out, which is a really shocking scene, because now that it no longer has to worry about seeing anyone and being confronted by Ushio and Tora, it allows itself to go on this big, massive rampage, and Ushio and Tora have to sort of rethink their strategy, because believe it or not, after losing its eyes, Hakumen no Mono becomes somewhat more powerful, as it no longer has the visual of fear. So Tora comes up with this really insane plan where he takes the beast spear and quite literally stabs himself in the back. And when he does this, the Hakumen no Mono can no longer actually sense Ushio and Tora. And this actually makes a lot of sense, because the entire point of the beast spear is that it's designed exclusively to kill yokai and demons. But how did Tora survive for somewhat thousands of years being impaled by this thing? You'd think it would have killed him. No, because he's actually a being that was actually created by the beast spear, he seems to have some sort of immunity to that, and when the spear's inside of his body, this gives him the perfect cloak to sort of trick the Hakumen no Mono, and this allows both Ushio and Tora to get right up in his face, and they effectively end up killing the Hakumen no Mono with the power of friendship, and a combination of stabbing it directly through the mouth and having it explode out the back of its head. It's pretty damned brutal and awesome, and because this is an anime series and they just have to do things in a really weird and symbolic fashion, for some strange reason, the Hakumen no Mono reveals what it truly wanted to be from the beginning, which is a fucking baby. What the hell does this even mean? Even Tora's like, you know what? That makes no goddamn sense to me whatsoever. Maybe it truly did want to be something that was true of heart. Maybe it wanted to have a life that didn't involve murdering everyone. All I know is, it comes out of left field and it looks like something out of frickin' Evangelion. It makes no frickin' sense. I don't even think Stanley Kubrick would be able to understand what the hell is going on here. But Hakumen no Mono is defeated, which means the beast spear is no longer needed, which means it disappears, and because of that, that means we also have to say goodbye to Tora. That is right. Tora actually dies in this episode right here. But in typical shonen fashion, he goes out with a bang, thanking all of his friends, and his last words are that he's full. He no longer wants to eat. And if you've been following the series, you know exactly what he means by this. There's also one little important piece of information that they decide to reveal to the viewers, and that's that when he was attacked by that samurai all those thousands of years ago and stabbed with the beast spear, he actually got all of his memories back from when he was human, which makes him a really interesting case for the series, seeing as how he was a human, which became a yokai, that then got his human memories back. And that's why he's had the personality he's had throughout the entire series, and why, despite the fact that he's always saying that he wants to eat people, he never actually does it. So Tora is gone. All of the other demons that have been supporting in the battle have decided that they're going to transform themselves into stone to keep Japan from collapsing, not because they love the people, not because they just want to save the day, but simply because they love the country and they want to see it grow up into a more peaceful nation. Now, not all of the yokai do this. All of the ones that are a little more humanoid looking, like the Kamai Taichi, they decide that they're going to stick around and they're going to help all the humans out. And then the rest of the episode is basically just sort of wrapping up all of the other character story arcs, seeing them all go about their own happy ways, with Ushio now having a normal family life, with his mother being back at home, living with his father, and not having to worry about slaying demons all damn day. So, what's the rundown on the final episode of Ushio and Tora? This was an explosive and really fun finale. I think my favorite thing about it, without a doubt, has to be those action scenes in the first half of the episode, so expertly animated, and seeing Ushio and Tora team up in ways that we've never actually seen before. This is going to seem like kind of a strange comparison, but I could see a lot of inspiration in this episode. Like, when they're actually fighting against Hakumen no Mono, you can see that Hakumen no Mono's tails are sort of constantly flailing around, and both Ushio and Tora are, like, surfing on them. It kind of reminds me of the Disney animated version of Tarzan, the way he would sort of, like, go around the trees and, like, sort of literally surf on all of the branches. And that's kind of like what it looked like in this episode, and that combined with the fluidity and the impact definitely made this the most kick-ass action episode of the series. The one thing that I do feel, though, is just a little too cheap and cheesy is the fact that pretty much every dead character in the series manages to come back to life for just like a couple of seconds as ghosts so that they can help out the other friends in the battle, which means you're going to see the return of characters like Hio the Exorcist, you're going to see Akira Nagare, and they're basically there just to give some words of wisdom to Ushio. It's a little cheesy, but honestly, this whole finale really is right here. It is just that. Cheesy, good, fun. And it's not a bad finale, but honestly, I would have liked a little bit more. I would have kind of maybe liked if the final episode focused exclusively on the battle, and then maybe we got like one final episode, which was like a pure epilogue, because as soon as the entire battle with Hakumen no Mono was done, they sort of rushed a lot of the big events towards the end, just to make sure they reminded us, oh yeah, this character's gonna be fine, don't worry, they're gonna be friends now, everything's gonna work out. And we all knew it was going to end up that way, but still, it left me with a really good feeling. I do wish that Tora could have stuck around, though, a little bit longer, especially because as soon as Hakumen no Mono was gone, he was immediately starting to disappear. Think Patrick Swayze in Ghost. Basically, the same exact thing is happening. Thank God we didn't have a scene where him and Tora were making a clay pot together. But still, it was a good scene. It basically was great because he reclaimed his humanity. The scene where you got to see Jime and Girio come back was also really great because it brought everything full circle for his story, because everything's at peace. The Beast Spear is no longer needed. He can be a normal human again, and he can finally pass over. Tora is full, and so am I. So, my final thoughts on the Ushio and Tora series is basically exactly how I feel when I was watching it from the beginning. It's a time capsule of an anime capturing the spirit of the early 90s. They didn't really update it all that much. This could have aired back in the day, and honestly, it would have felt very natural. A thing that I really loved about this show, though, and definitely the strongest element of it, are the side characters. Ushio and Tora are great. Ushio can get a little grating at times. In fact, some of my friends that have watched the series with me can't stand Ushio. They think that he's entirely too preachy. But I like him because he's very different from a lot of the other main characters that we see from other anime series. One, he's not an idiot. He's actually pretty smart. He's a very artistic character. And what I also love about him is that he doesn't always just go in head first. He always has to think about his battles. And then, of course, there's Tora, who really, at the end of the day, is the real star of the series. I mean, one of the most expressive anime characters that I've seen in a long time, and I love the fact that he can sort of switch on the dime of being incredibly scary one moment and being really funny the next moment. And getting to learn a little bit more about his backstory was also very intriguing. I wish we could have gotten more time with that. It would have made me appreciate his time as a human. It was all devoted simply to one episode, but the fact that it was all tied to the Hakumen no Mono, the Beast Spear, and everything really made this feel like just a complete package story, which is something that I really like. There is the possibility, a very small possibility, mind you, that Ushio and Tora could return in the future. They make that very clear at the end of this episode, but because this is based on a manga series which wrapped up in the mid-90s, I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. That being said, I really do think that this is a good standalone anime series, but it's also a great introduction to the world of Ushio and Tora. As a lot of my commenters have actually mentioned, a lot of the story arcs and sort of the Monster of the Week storytelling stories they had in the manga series were cut out entirely from the anime version. So if you found yourself just wanting more Ushio and Tora after watching the anime version, this would be the perfect opportunity to check out the original manga, which frankly, after looking at it, has some amazing artwork. Some of the best that I've seen from any manga series. It's just so dark and so grim. Very different from the anime version, which is very bright and very chillful. And yet, even with that, the series still has its And yet, even with that, the series still manages to have a lot of moments which are action-packed, high-octane, and still very creepy. And it's all supported by an amazing cast of characters who all get to do something very memorable in the finale of the series, which is really great. It's truly a group effort at the end in the final battle of the series, despite the fact that it is basically just Ushio and Tora fighting against the Hakumen no Mono, who is certainly a great villain, but honestly I think one of the weaker villains from the series, to be perfectly honest. In fact, I think I actually kind of liked the first half of Ushio and Tora just a little bit more. I really did enjoy the whole Monster of the Week style storytelling, because you never really knew what was going to happen. When we finally started getting focused on the final arcs of the story, you could sort of predict everything that was going to go down, and yeah, my predictions were pretty much, made clear in this episode right here. All the ones I made in the previous reviews, it went down exactly as I said it would. I didn't expect that Tora was going to die, however. That was probably the biggest shocking moment, but it happened so quick that you don't really even have time to come to terms with it, so it's really not that sad, and it does feel good for that character, because he's been around for so long, he has such a tragic backstory, and the fact that he was a yokai that had his human memories just probably made things even worse for him, and you can see that he really impacted a lot of the characters, especially the character of Inoue at the very end of the episode. This is the second anime series I've seen where characters start to cry because they're reminded of hamburgers. That's right. Only that type of emotion can be brought through in an anime series. So, on the technical side of things, this was a really good-looking episode. Like I said, definitely the best animated, the best action that we've seen from the series, and that final attack against Hakumen no Mono, damn, that looked awesome. Definitely one of the most satisfying moments of the entire series. And overall, this was a really satisfying finale to a really fun anime. So, I highly recommend this to those who have not watched it if you're looking for a good, fun action anime series, which is kind of like a time capsule from the 90s. If you like stuff like One Piece, Dragon Ball, Yu Yu Hakusho, especially, even shows like Inuyasha, check out Ushio and Tora. It's basically the exact opposite of Inuyasha in many ways, but it definitely carries that spirit. It also introduced you to a lot of crazy mythology concepts in Japan, which makes you realize, you know what, Greek and Norse mythology is pretty cool, but Japan's got some pretty weird shit going on too, especially in the demon department. So, great finale right here. It's sad to know that Ushio and Tora is done, but it's going to create a lot of brand new fans and hopefully get people to check out the manga series, which I cannot wait to read all of the other stories that I never had an opportunity to see in the anime version. So, fantastic finale right here. I absolutely loved it. Everything is wrapped up, and it does so in a really nice package. So I'm going to give this episode right here a 5 out of 5. Check it out, Ushio and Tora fans, if you've been following the anime version. If you've only read the manga version, check out this episode. You might see something you like. But if any of you did watch this week's episode of Ushio and Tora, please tell me what you thought about it in the comments section below. What did you think of the final battle with Hakumen no Mono? Were you sad by the death of Tora? Are you going to continue to read the manga version after this? Please tell me what you thought about the entire series in general. Please tell me in the comments section below. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. I really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. That way you'll be able to see all of our latest anime and manga reviews. Make sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and make sure to leave me a comment. Make sure to also check out all the cool links we got floating around in the description box below. One of them might actually be our weekly podcast series, The Powerful Nerdcast. It's pretty frickin' awesome. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby!